All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
For some truth?
We're ready to lay it down. Sammy wore his
Okay,
pants too long.
turning on my reverbs. Yeah. Oh, sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocrites. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I've had enough of reading things by neurotic, psychotic, big-headed politicians. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. No short-haired, yellow-bellied son of chicky-ticky gonna build the hope and sauce on me with just a pocket full of hope. Money for dough, money for rope, guitar solo. John Lennon's birthday was 2 days ago. No short-haired, yellow-bellied, orange-skinned son of chicky-ticky's gonna mother hump and salt on me with a pocket full of hope. Money for dough, money for rope. Oh, I'm sick of death of seeing things from tight-lipped, condescending mommy's little chauvinists. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I've had enough of watching scenes by schizophrenic, eccentric, paranoia, prima donnas. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. No short-haired, yellow-bellied son of chicky-ticky's gonna mother hump and start soaking me with just a pocket full of hope. Money for dough, money for rope. Oh, I'm sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocrites. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I've had enough of reading things by neurotic, psychotic, big-headed politicians. All I want is the truth. Oh, just give me some truth. Maureen, all I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. Everybody, all I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. Do you want some truth?
Yes.
We need the truth. Give us the truth. Give us the truth.
That was awesome.
In honor of the throat chakra,
Yeah. Yeah.
the mantra, my throat chakra mantra is, sorry, reverb. I speak my truth free of fear.
Oh, I love it. I speak my truth free of fear.
Whenever I lose my voice or get a sore throat, I say to myself, what am I not speaking truth about?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting how the body lets you know where you're out of alignment. And also, like, there are so many blocks to the throat chakra. So, yeah.
There's one of them right there. The mute button really blocks.
Unmute. Did I mute myself? I muted myself.
So many blocks. And what I really wanted to say, it's very.
Uh-oh.
Here it goes again.
And
just kidding. No, but seriously, it's really important that.
Oh, man.
I can't help myself.
I'm sorry. You don't have to help yourself. You are in the Hall of Fame in Hinsdale. You don't need to. Help yourself. You've made it. You've arrived.
I made it. I almost didn't graduate because I flunked gym and I had to take jazzercise at COD to get my gym credit to graduate with my class.
Oh, if I was a fly on that wall, if I was a fly on your head.
Me and a bunch of old ladies. It was hilarious.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That reminds me of my ballerina audition that we won't go into, but I know you remember it from VoiceBox. The moral of the story is you can't fake being a ballerina.
Yeah. Oh, I have a song about that. Maybe I'll do that next.
Oh, good. Tiny Dancer.
It's called Ballerina, actually.
Oh, I love that song. All right. Well, hey, welcome everybody. we're all here for the throat chakra. And we moved through the celebrations. If you weren't here for the celebration, Cathy Richardson was indicted into the Hinsdale Hall of Fame. So that was
inducted, but also indicted. But that was for a
Indicted
different
is not
charge.
the
That was
right-
that was a different
Yeah.
charge.
sorry. Thank you.
All right.
So welcome everybody to SpeakEasy. Your presence is such a gift. Your voice is such a gift. We want to hear from you today. We want to hear what you have to say about your throat chakra. Cathy already shared with us her affirmations, which are really great. I am not afraid to speak the truth. So we're going to get into that. So with that, I'll pass this over to Maureen Claffey, who's just going to help anchor us into this moment. Let us be here and settle into this experience of music and voice. Divine voice, divine voice. And the divine voice is not actually something that we speak, but the divine voice is something that we listen to. The divine is something that we hear. You've heard the adage, think before you speak, which is always good to think before you speak, but better advice is really to listen before you speak. When we can be sure that you have really heard the words that are yours to say, your words are going to count. The Bible talks about, the word and the power of the word. And the apostles had asked Jesus one day, like, when we go out into the world, like, what are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to eat? And he says, just go wherever you go in any land, just wander from place to place. And if they take you in, eat whatever they set before you and heal the sick among them. And whatever goes into your mouth will not defile you, but rather what comes out of your mouth will defile you. So, we can be pretty sure that Jesus understood the power of the word. And here in our community, we also understand and honor it as well. We have SpeakEasy, we have VoiceBox, we have Miracles Live 365, where we get live every single morning and talk to each other. And we say, what do you think about this miracle thing? We have voice visibility and value, where we, help to harness people's truth and their remove their blocks of fear of being seen. We have Right On, where we invest in people finding their stories. These are just a few of the names of the things that are so important to our community. The threads of our work is about helping people find their voice and honor their story, empower their lives. And we do this through the word. And why is it so important? Why is that so important? Because we are actually musical instruments for the divine voice. The divine sings through us. Every single morning on the call, we say the St. Francis prayer. Every morning we say, make of me an instrument of your peace, an instrument. Well, we don't really have to pray to be an instrument, because we already are instruments. We are designed to speak. We are designed to speak. We are designed to sing. We are designed to hum and chant. We are designed to converse with each other. We are designed to express. We are designed to debate with each other, some of us better than others. We are designed to claim our truth. We are designed to confess our truth. We are designed to declare. We are designed to pray. We are designed to profess. We are designed to praise. This is what we're designed for. We're designed to make a joyful noise. And this noise comes from the breath, which we talked about last week. When the breath meets the need to connect, when the breath meets the need to be heard, when the breath meets the need to be in harmony with the song of life. So this voice is not just a gift, but it's a tool. It's a tool we use to demonstrate our good. Unless we don't want good, in which case we use our voice to disempower. We can use the word. We have free choice. We can use the word to complain and kvetch and criticize and compare. And these are just a few of the pathways to hell and unhappiness. And of course, hell isn't a place, it's a state of mind. So this week, we're going to be focusing on the throat chakra to learn to express ourselves, to learn to love and honor our ability to sing a new song unto the Lord, to sing or to pray or to praise, and to say the words that help and heal, to give ourselves full permission to say the words that help and heal. That's why we start off every meeting with celebrations, because we want to open it up and be like, what good news do you have? We want to practice. I heard this thing on, I think it was Brene Brown, who was saying that she would meet with her friends and she would say, before we begin, let's brag. Let's send off a rocket of desire. Let's say what is really true in our hearts. Like, imagine, which I don't have to imagine because we have it, a community where we encourage people to shine, to tell us what's the good thing that's happening. So this week, when you want to work on the throat chakra, it's not, you can use affirmations, but also extend affirmations out into the world. Say the words that are sometimes hard to say, like, I love you, you're doing a great job, well done. I knew that you were a genius. I knew that you were going to make it into the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to let that die. I knew you were a freaking Hall of Famer. I knew that, and this is not to blow smoke, but to be a mouthpiece for God. If you truly spoke for God, you would have nothing but praise for yourself and for others. That's it. The throat chakra is not just about our ability to express ourselves, but to optimally express ourselves. That's the optimal idea of the throat chakra, to use our voice, our truth, our stories, our ability to speak up and speak out and speak easily. It's no wonder that we should, or I should be passionate about this topic. I am personally a word junkie. Prose and poems and plays and prayers. The good use of a well-spun sentence makes me lean in and light up. And I'm sure that I'm not alone. I'm sure that this is the truth for you. I think that we love words, not just because of their lyrical nature, but because of their transformative nature. I know that we have all witnessed when the right word at the right time can make a heaven out of a hell, or a hell of a heaven. I've experienced that in my life. I've experienced my dad drop a story on me that literally changed my mind. I mean, of course, this happens all the time. You've read books, you've heard stories that have made you shift into a greater awareness of yourself, all through the power of the word. And I've seen miracles happen, when a tone or a truth of a soul is given their time. Seeing people get up on stage on voice box, like, I've seen people transform. When a person learns to express themselves or confess themselves, to be truly transparent, to come out and to be seen and heard and healed and holy, it's miraculous. Like, it's absolutely miraculous. And as much as we're expressed, I mean, you even heard from Cathy Richardson, who's like, basically a foghorn of all that's good and beautiful and holy. And she says that she gets sore throats and sometimes blocks herself. So we all have this work to do. No matter how fully expressed you are, there's still places where we sometimes get stagnant and congested. At VoiceBox, at Write On, our writers group, at our writing retreats, I've had the privilege of seeing the right use of expression dramatically change the overall well-being of a person's life and extricate them from unconscious baggage that they've just been dragging around. The ability to see yourself, to express yourself, the confidence to express yourself is, I think, equal to the ability to fly. And I don't think I'm exaggerating there. I mean, because words take you to places that you never dreamed you could go. The books that you've read that have taken you to places that you never thought you could go. I'm thinking of a few of them right now. But just words in general, like the good use of words, man, it is such an amazing resource that we have. I have a daughter who teaches me this all the time, my daughter, Billy. She uses her words, and I've told this story before, but it's worth repeating. She got so tired of the English language. She got so thirsty for more words that she decided to learn a whole new language when she was a little kid. We had an exchange student come from Italy, and she heard this girl talking in English and in Italian. And she was like, I want that. So she found a camp that she could go to where she would be immersed in the Italian language. And it was really expensive. And she came to us and we were like, we can't afford that. But I said, but I know through the use of your word, you will be able to find your way there. Do not underestimate your children's ability to demonstrate. And so she said, okay. And she went out and she found this writing contest that if you wrote an essay on why you should be the person chosen to get the scholarship, you could go to this immersion camp for Italian. And she won the first year. She won a half scholarship. And then she convinced with her word my mother-in-law to pay the other half. So she was off to the Italian camp. The next year she wanted to go back. She had made friends, she had learned a lot, she had learned to use the language, but she wanted to learn some more. So she again applied for the contest. And the second year she won a full boat ride all the way we didn't have to, all we had to do was drop her off. And then even after that, that was just the beginning. She began to check into the Rotary Club because just learning Italian wasn't enough. She wanted to go and live amongst those who spoke that language. And she checked out the Rotary Club, and she was too young at the time. So she thought about people that she knew in Italy. She had my husband call a few of them, and she asked if she could live with them. The next thing you know, we're packing her on the plane to go spend her junior year in Italy. And that was all through the manifestation of her word. She came in just like you came in, naked and with nothing, and with a couple of parents who were pretty okay, who had some problems, but not severe problems. So probably you're in the same boat. This is the same for you. Your life is the direct reflection of the use of your word. Words are like seeds. They take root, they grow, they bring forth your world. That which you plant will bear fruit. Scatter loving words, and the world becomes a bright and shiny place. Scatter complaints and condemnations, and you do the math. But no one escapes this cause and effect. Your spoken word and the thoughts that give rise to them is the first cause. If we truly understood this, we would have no problem being impeccable. However, sometimes we can develop an odd tolerance for this sort of congestion or sideways blocks that get in our way, sideways banter or gossip, white lies or half truths, exaggerations, or speaking about business that's not our business. Or even worse is unspoken truths. These seeds bring forth strange fruit. And if your words are the carving knives of your life, that these bad habits will be the very thing that dulls the blade. And like I said last week, well, I'll probably say again next week, because I just love to say it, we want you to be a hot knife through butter. We don't want you to walk the world with a dull blade. We're here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Telling the truth keeps the blade sharp. A Course in Miracles has this to say about honesty. It says, only the trusting can afford honesty, for they can see its value. Honesty does not only apply to what you say, the term actually means consistency. So there's nothing that you say that contradicts what you think or do. There's no word that opposes any other thought. No act belies your word, and no word lacks agreement with another. Such are the truly honest. At no level are they in conflict with themselves. Therefore, it's impossible for them to be in conflict with anyone or anything. Man, that's spiritual swagger. Knowing that you can speak the truth wherever you are, wherever you go, that you know yourself and own yourself and are not allowing yourself to be edited or trampled or misinterpreted. So when we become brave enough to speak our truth, we become in harmony with all that is. A person who honors their truth understands that this is the threshold of freedom. And our days on this beautiful blue marble, although they feel like they're limitless, they're not. We have very limited time. So while we're here, we must learn to speak the truth to liberate ourselves from our own fears. If you're craving freedom from conflict, tell your truth. It will cut through the static. It will open up a sacred space where authentic conversations can unfold. And you probably have already done that. And that's why you're in this conversation where we make a lot of space for people to share their truth. So I know it's not always easy, because I have been assisting people in finding their voice for decades now, and I've held hands of men and women who have labored through the birth of their own truth. I've labored through the birth of my own truth. I still do. The labor is not always easy. It comes with tears and tender confessions, but it's always worth it. It's always worth it. Holding back your truth requires strength that nobody has. So many people experience things that have shut them down. That's the reason they hold back their truth. Many people have experienced just like a shutting down of themselves. Comments when you're younger, like you're stupid, or what are you thinking, or don't be so bold, or shut up, or who asked you, or pipe down, or zip it. Sound familiar? These can compromise a person's ability to speak up. We start to believe, maybe I have nothing to say. Nobody wants to hear from me. My words mean nothing. My words don't really matter. For women, especially around that whole #MeToo, that doesn't happen without an annihilation of words, without the complete devaluing of the word no. And so when that happens to you, which it happens to many of us, we start to doubt our own ability that our voice matters or that our words mean anything. So how do we get back on track with our words? With our truth? We move back slowly. We can say, if there's something that's hard for us to say, we start with that truth. And we simply say, hey, you guys, this is really hard for me to say. I got to share something with you. And it's really hard for me to say. And this the past week, I think I have given that advice out to at least 5 people when I was working with some people, and they all had the same different hard news to deliver. But this little line can help. It can help to just say, this is hard for me to say. These words usually work to kind of open up a space of consciousness and compassion. Why is that? Because every single one of us can relate to the experience of having something hard to say. We've all been there. And we all probably still have a lot of stuff in the, in the attic that we've packed away that we still have to say and we haven't gotten to yet. So most of the time when you're telling your truth, most of the time when you get to that place where you, like I see this happen at Voice Box all the time. Somebody will get on stage and tell their truth, and they'll be so nervous and so scared, and then they'll tell their truth, and people will like Cathy, like standing ovations and praise, and then they'll say, "Ah, I want to do that again." So usually when you tell your truth, there's a beautiful response from the universe, except for when there's not, because I can't guarantee you that that'll always happen. Not everyone is going to like what you have to say. Not everyone is going to appreciate your truth. So, like I said, words are like seeds. This is important. If words are like seeds, then they need to land on the right soil, and that's your responsibility. So don't toss your words to the wind. Really be impeccable, not just with the words that you share, but where you share them, when you share them, how you share them. Jesus tells us this story in the Bible, and I'll reinterpret it for you. He says that there's a gardener who goes out and she fills her hands with seeds and she scatters them, and some falls on the path with the birds, and the birds come and they peck them and they peck at them and they take them away, and others fall on the rocks and they don't take root because they're in no soil, and others fall on the thorns, and the thorns choke them out and the worms come and eat them, and others fall on good soil and it produces good fruit, and this multiplies abundantly. So the seeds that fell on the path is like when you're screaming in a noisy room. Think of a path. It's a place that's well traveled. You don't want to plant your seeds on a path that's well traveled. They'll get trampled. So don't attempt to scream it in a noisy room. Don't let your truth be trampled on. Jesus says that the birds came and pecked the seeds and carried them off. You know what he's talking about. You ever share your big idea, your big dream with some bird brains? Instead of support, you get them like pecking away at your great dream, and you're like, wait, what? Wait, this is not what I wanted. This is your responsibility. Don't share your big dreams with small-minded people. You must learn to seek good soil. He also advises us to don't sow our seeds on rock. If you ever shared your truth with a block brain, not only can they not peck at your idea, they can't even grasp it. So don't do that. Don't toss them around places that are thorny. I've been there. Keep good company. Basically, that's what it's saying. Place your truth in good soil, places that can handle your truth, places that can hold your truth, places that can honor your truth, places that are safe and compassionate and can nurture your truth, because early truth is like early saplings. They need care and compassion, not pecking and pointing out of problems. That's for later down in the spectrum of creation. In the beginning, you need to really, as you begin to learn to speak your truth, like you really need to be careful where you bring this truth to. So finally, if you want to learn to be a clear channel of this truth, learn to listen and be impeccable about what you listen to and what you allow yourself to hear. Jesus tells this other story about, he says, a human being is like a sensible fisherman who casts out his net into the sea and draws it up from the sea filled with little fish. And among them, the sensible fisherman finds a large, fine fish. And he throws all the little fish back into the sea, and he chooses the large, fine fish effortlessly. Basically, what he's saying is when you go out to the world and you cast your net, don't pick up all the unsubstantial minutia. The world is filled with unsubstantial minutia, or as our friend says, fake news. It's just a lot. It's like a bunch of gnats flying around your head. It's just a whole bunch of distractions, and we can go down the rabbit hole of unsubstantial minutia. Be about the big stuff. Be about what is substantial. Allow yourself to say no to all that is not substantial and toss it back in. Don't sweat the small stuffs. So the reminders and the takeaway is to, honor your word, be consistent with your word, seek good soil to where you to share your word, learn to listen to others, to yourself, to your intuition. I think that the last one of learning to listen is the most important and the most helpful. When I was a little kid, I had a speech impediment and I also had dyslexia. So words were not my friends. You know, I had a really hard time making sense of the words and the wiggles on the page. And I had to find ways to move through all of the distractions, the little fishes, so to speak, so I could pay attention and follow the big fish to find and figure out what was the substantial meaning behind the messages that were coming at me. So I would need to learn to listen, not just to the words, but the way the teacher spoke, the way that she used her hands to convey information. And I got better at deciphering and decoding the symbols on the page by my preferred way of learning, which is to listen. My dyslexia actually helped develop my clairaudience. I can hear the truth. My ears can smell bullshit better than my nose. that's just something I developed. And I realized that I developed this gift quite by accident because I would hear the truth and then I would state what seemed to be obvious, and I would watch people light up or get stymied, and I would hear helpful, advice moving through my lips, and I would think to myself, man, that's good stuff. I should take my own advice. I wonder where that came from. So this is the development of a gift that's available to everyone. Each and every single one of us can develop clairaudience simply by being a better listener. When I was a kid, I also talked funny. I'd say, Ma, can I go play with the girls? My name's Maureen. That's how I spoke. So my mother sent me to a speech specialist and I learned how to enunciate. And then my first acting teacher, she beat the Jersey accent right out of me by listening. So in order to become a better speaker, I had to become a more impeccable listener. I had to learn to listen so that I could listen to learn. Most people can't hear because they're just not listening. They're only listening to what they're thinking, to what they want to hear. So to listen, you need to really pay attention to what is. Listening to your still small voice, listening to your heart, and then listening from your heart, which means to imagine that your heart is your biggest ear, that you're going to listen from your heart. To honor your words, tell the truth, be consistent with your words, tell your truth wherever you are, seek good soil, share your words, be responsible for healthy conversations, learn to listen to others and to yourself and to your intuition, and to be open completely to being used by God. If you listen to God or to love, you will not need to conjure up the messages that you're here to speak. You will remember that you're not in charge of the message. You're only the messenger, and the message is always love in whatever form is most helpful and healing to the listener. But also, when you do that, you find that this message delights the messenger as well, because you think, wow, I didn't know that. You're a pen, and God, the mother of all creation, is the ink. Let her flow through you, not just in your words, but let her flow through you. Or if you're a painter, let her paint through you. If you're a dancer, let her dance through you. If you're a lawyer, let her litigate through you. If you're a talker, let her speak through you. And if you're open to that, you will no longer have to take the fame or the blame. You'll just be the channel, and the river of love will wash over and through you in the most impeccable and poetic way that you will know for sure that it must be God. And you will end up in the hall of fame of God. And that's the word.
Amazing. Yay, Maureen. Everyone just take a moment, silently, or no, you know what? Let's give a standing ovation to Maureen Muldoon for always
Woohoo!
writing, saying, and speaking the
Woohoo!
truth and nothing but the truth, so help her goddess.
Well, I hang with some truth speakers, so it's easy. I'm in good soil.
Yes, indeed. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like just like a child. Now I'm dancing, it's like a dream. No end and no beginning. You're here with me, it's like a dream. Let the choir sing when you call my name. It's like a little prayer down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there when you call my name. It's like a little prayer down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power just like a prayer. You know I'll take you there.
Woohoo! Oh, good job. This is awesome. Thank you so much. God, remember Madonna back in the day? She just really ruffled some feathers and opened some minds, especially
Yeah.
around sexuality. It's
She
awesome.
seems so tame now.
I know. What's happening, Madonna?
This is interesting. I was sitting at Grace Slick's house, and we were watching the Women's March on TV, and Madonna came on, and she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna blow up the White House," and Grace Slick was like, "Wow!" Like to make Grace Slick say "Wow" was pretty impressive to me. I was like, "You go, Madonna."